Hey, Jack. How are you, sir?
Get my ears in.
There we go. Gotcha. Hey, John, how are you, sir?
Right. Doing fine. How y'all?
Hello, Bob.
How are you? Hey,
Good.
Jim.
Jim, Jack.
Hey.
Hello, good morning.
Hey,
Good
Jim.
morning.
Sorry I did not make it back in time to call you. I just got here in time to boot up and get on the call.
You have time to wash your hands?
Barely. Yeah. Yep.
Good. Where did you go? Across the lake there or the one there at the Gold Point?
I don't know the one at Gold Point, but I had took the call from Jim, but we've got a brand new guy over on A dock. We're on D, and A's right next to the river, that has a new to him Carver 455, and he needed to pump out, and he's never driven the boat. That is a rare occasion to have somebody that age that about something, but he's not that old. He's in his 40s, and he and his partner, by the way, if you ever need to get something catered, they own 51 cooked hamburger joints. So,
Good.
Hey, Bob. Marty.
hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob and Marty.
Hey, Marty.
Hello.
Uh-oh. What happened? All right.
Who else do we have coming yet?
Didn't Norm say he would not be here?
Yeah,
Norm said no, Donna and Linda said no, but Greg and Bob Roop, I don't know.
Okay. Great. So how's the new place? Miss you guys.
Oh,
Good.
it's nice. We're enjoying it.
Good, good.
Of course, we're stuck in it, but I mean,
Let's say that's a funny looking boat inside there.
yeah, it is.
It'd be nice if we could get out and go somewhere once in a while, but the indoor pool is closed. I have no idea when they'll reopen it. But we did find out that we can go to the outdoor pool without having a reservation now.
That's good. That's good.
That just started Saturday. Up till then, you had to make a reservation to go to the pool a week in advance.
And you can only stay 2 hours.
Come over to my pool and you can stay for days and days if you want to, because it's got a reason for it. You need to tie your stuff off to the boat.
Yeah.
We're gonna come down Tuesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, good. Look,
Yeah, we got stuff we got to get done this weekend and then or this week, and then we're coming down for a little while.
okay. Well, we are putting the raccoon trap out tonight. If you're not aware of that, we've got a raccoon on the dock.
That is no fun.
No.
Well, the first boat it visited was Sam's, and it got in his aft deck refrigerator, which is right above the aft cabin, and it ate off his hummus. So he's on the weekly stop now, for sure. And he was knocking Cokes and beers and everything out of the refrigerator onto the floor of the aft deck, which is the roof of his aft cabin, and scared the bejeebers out of him. So he thought he was somebody on the boat. Anyway, came back the second time. It's been on other boats since now.
How many?
Today, so we'll keep you posted.
They're pretty ingenious little critters.
Yeah. If they're fifth paw, whatever that claw would be, actually an opposable thumb, they'd be really dangerous.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. We were down in Orlando one time. I was cooking supper, and there was a coon that kept coming up, and he'd come up and he'd look at me, and then he'd turn around and go away and he'd go get in the trash can.
Yeah.
And you'd see the only thing he's sticking out of the top of the trash can was his tail. The rest of it would be down in there. And then he'd come out with something every time.
Mike has had to put double straps on the trash cans over by a dock.
Yeah.
And they've actually put a camera out there where they can watch it. For what reason, I have no idea. They have.
Well, what are they going to do? Yep, he's there. Yeah.
The Litkeys and us, we both have Simply Safe systems on our boat with
Yeah.
Right.
and Mike actually has video of the raccoon being on his boat this past weekend. It hasn't found ours or found a way to get on ours yet. I'll put it that way. But yeah, I don't mind. Right in his refrigerator in the back. So it's all into refrigerators now.
Yeah. Well, he's probably been in my ice refrigerator then upstairs.
Likely, yeah. If it's where they can get in.
Yeah. Oh, he can get in.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll catch him. We're putting a trap on Sam's finger slip, so we'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Did you all get the trap from the Humane Society, or you buy
No,
it?
the trap is actually a 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Just kidding. Mike, the maintenance guy, had it, and the gentleman I helped earlier today move his boat over to pump out. He said that he actually saw the raccoon on a dock, and Mike had mentioned he saw it down there a few days ago. So it must be one that's just, traversing from one dock to the other. But he's apparently finding plenty to eat.
Oh, yeah. He'll continue to come back as long as he does.
Yep.
You're going to have to put him in a car somewhere and take him somewhere far away.
Probably a
That's
good
what-
thing our grill's inside.
Yeah, and that's what Mike plans to do once we catch him, if that works.
Yeah.
Jack Everett, have you made an effort to contact Greg or Bob?
No, not
Okay.
not in addition.
Should we, or you want to go without them?
They're I can make a quick text to Bob and see if
I don't like to have 6 people waiting on 2. Unless it's the king and queen.
yeah.
And even then, I don't like it.
My phone has got a bad display on it and it's going crazy. So somebody else could try to pull them up. It's better. All I could do is email them again on the computer if you want me to do that. I sent out a reminder. I guess everybody got that though, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So they should have that.
Hey, Jack,
Yes, sir.
how many people can we put on Zoom at one time?
Oh, 200-300.
Just 200, okay. I'm going to have to, I'm going to be doing that district conference. And I don't know how many people, it's going to be virtual. And I don't know how many people are going to try and get onto it.
Yeah. Have you got a Zoom subscription?
No.
Does anybody in the district got one or done that, or anybody else
Yeah,
on
we've
yours?
got somebody in Atlanta does. And we could use, I know the National is trying to use free conference call.
Yeah, I took a quick look at that, and I think the thing I didn't like about it is that you could only see 1 or 2 people at a time, which is sort of okay.
Yeah.
The thing about free conference call to me is every time I've been on there, they don't like to use the video cameras because it seems to overload the system, and that's where they thought they were running into trouble.
Yeah.
Where Zoom, we don't have any problems,
No.
Looking to see if you can participate. Thanks.
On that Atlanta meeting that we went to, their XCOM meeting, were they
Yeah.
on Zoom or free conference call?
Zoom.
Well, I can, I've got one,
Right.
and I'm
I got
donating its
messages.
use to the squadron. So if you need to
Greg says he is coming.
Yeah, I just got a text from him. I said we're standing by.
So Bob,
Okay.
just
I don't have a phone number for Bob.
I got one. Let me see if I can find, maybe I've got one. I should have one.
so I could use mine for you if you want me to for
Hang
that
on a
district
second.
thing.
He should be here in my contacts. Yep.
Okay, she's gonna send him a
Yes.
text.
To his mobile.
Oh,
I got it. Are you?
I was just saying I'll set up mine if you want to for that district thing.
Well, that's what I need somebody to do it because I don't know anything about this stuff.
Yeah,
And it's not gonna be until the end of September.
end of September. Okay.
Yeah, 25th, I think it is.
Well,
It's a Saturday, last Saturday in September.
well, put me down for setting it up for you then,
Okay, thank you.
and just let me know the details. And
Okay,
there is a way to set it up where that it just starts when the first person joins. So if for some reason I'm not sure I'll be available at the exact time, and still set it up to run.
okay. I think I'm gonna start it at 11 Eastern, 10 Central.
Well, that should be fine. That's unless I'm off somewhere in some other
Yeah.
ocean.
Okay,
We want to wait or we want to get going?
Why don't we get going?
yeah, we'll get going.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll pick,
Bob
yeah,
has
Greg is here now.
Okay, there's Greg. Bob has not answered yet, so maybe Greg will know. Hey, Greg.
Right.
Boy, we can even see him.
Yeah.
Hello, Greg.
Do you know if Bob was planning to come today?
Don't know.
We're frozen.
Uh-oh.
Stop the video and restart.
That's okay. It'll come back usually when it freezes like that.
Okay.
Okay.
We can hear you, so that's okay. We got a good
That's what
picture of
I
you.
thought you need.
You know what I look like.
All right, we got a quorum?
Yeah.
Close enough, huh? All right, one item last week, talking about SWOT analysis. We were talking about who was going to participate in that. We agreed that executive committee members would be invited and any other key squadron members. I have not received any input from anyone this past week. The only outstanding name then would be Sam Hornsby. Bob Carroll, did you have an opportunity to say anything to him? Do we know if he would still be a likely candidate to give us his ideas?
Actually, no, I didn't. Apologize. I didn't realize that you wanted me to say something to Sam. I'll see him every night. I was on his boat last night helping him work on the windlass, but so I can catch him. And I feel comfortable he'd do that. So yeah, let me just check with him and see. And I think he's probably 95%, affirmative he'll do it.
Okay, and
I heard Bob.
Oh, yeah, let's just plan on him unless I call you and let you know otherwise. So I think he'll do it.
Okay.
The biggest thing, I'll be honest with you, the biggest thing is going to be the timing of when we do it. We're all retired. He still works a full-time job. And the guy is, as I've said several times, a very prolific boater. If we ask him to give up 2 Saturdays or 2 half days, that may be problematic because he leaves on Friday evening as soon as he gets off work and he comes back Sunday afternoon. And so we'll just, that would be the only holdup. So, if it's going to be a couple of evenings during the week, possibly. So that's my only caveat that I throw out there. I'll just have to ask him once we decide on a date.
all right, I don't think we asked you specifically last week to contact him, so that's all right that you haven't.
Yeah, I feel comfortable that, given the timing when we do it, as long as we're not asking him to give up, the better part of a weekend,
Sure.
he'd be happy to help us out.
Okay. Topic of a facilitator is still an outstanding issue. I did get, I communicated with Nancy Watt, who is Jack Vincent's daughter. She was very helpful in, I guess, identifying one other person who either has had experience with this or actually conducts the assessment. Nancy gave my contact information to this person, have yet to hear from anyone. Nancy and I did exchange a couple emails where she asked, what is our budget? And I told her initially that we agreed that we would cover expenses and probably throw in a free meal here and there. She said, anything more than that. Hello, Mr. Bob. Anything more than that. And I said, the squadron might be able to handle a couple $100 fee, get approval ahead of time. Nancy's comment to that was, that's going to be hard to do for only a couple $100, leading me to believe if we want an outside source who is experienced, who can facilitate this process, I'm guessing $500 fee, maybe 600, 700. It's a consulting job for them.
No, they're not worth that money. This whole thing is not a huge deal, and we're not talking about doing it for a long time. We are a volunteer organization, and these people want to make it. If we were a business, hey, that'd be totally different, but we're not. And if they're not willing to go ahead and donate their time to it for expenses and maybe a meal, then we don't need them.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I think that's where we are. I did stress.
You only talk to one person.
No, that's the only person I got response. I left messages at about half a dozen other places trying to get someone to talk to us. And there's only one person that responded. I've contacted several education department at UTC as well as Chattanooga State, the management departments at both places. I even saw that Times-Picayune, no, what's it called here? The newspaper here.
Chattanooga.
I'm thinking New Orleans yet.
Yeah.
Times Free Press.
Yeah, Times Free.
They business section wrote an article about SWAT and companies that did that. So I reached out to the newspaper trying to get someone there. Who did it? What was the information? Who knows anything about it? And I'm stressing that we're nonprofit. You know, we don't have a whole lot of money to throw at this. As I say, the only answer I've gotten is a little bit of communication with Nancy, and still have not found anyone who could actually do it.
Couple places we might look, and I don't know if it would pan out or not. The Business Development Center.
At where?
The Business Development Center in Chattanooga, down where Manufacturers Road hits Cherokee. So that's one option. The other one, a little bit out of the box, might be United Way, because they do a lot of work with charities on strategic planning.
Good idea, in my opinion.
You get any contacts down there, Bob?
No, I used to at United Way, but that's been so many years ago that they're all gone.
All right, I can contact them, see if anyone will talk to us. I think part of the, I'm leaving messages at a lot of these places, and schools haven't started yet and people aren't around. So I don't know if they're even getting messages that you leave.
I did talk to John Littleton, explained what we were trying to do. He does, as part of his classes, have his students do SWOT analysis as part of the business plans. However, he has not actually ever conducted led a group in a SWOT analysis. He didn't commit that he would or would not help us, but I'm pretty confident from our discussion that he would only consider doing something that would be like a virtual meeting. I don't think he's interested in an in-person kind of a session.
All right, Bob Heck, what are the possibilities of getting someone out of Power Squadron at a different level, different squadron?
Haven't gone to anybody, but haven't looked there yet. I didn't know I was supposed to. The only one that I know of, I don't know if they've got anybody in Atlanta that would be willing to do it or not.
Would you check into that for us, please?
Yeah, I'll get a hold of them. No problem. I can do that.
Because, you know, one thing I picked out of that, on the prologue, that chapter that talks about SWAT, it does say that you want someone from outside the squadron, but not necessarily outside of USPS.
Right. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, when you look at that, what we're looking at, what we're wanting to do, I just thought it would be easier to get somebody local, if we had them. And,
that's what I thought too.
yeah. And when we're talking about, you know, actually local people, I mean, the people being involved, we were talking earlier about that. We don't want to get too many people involved, and we want to make sure that they understand that this is not a problem-solving thing. It's not a let's see what worked in the past thing. This is nothing but a brainstorm.
Right.
And so we can't be sitting there saying, well, you know, in the past we tried this and it didn't work. We can't do that. That's not one of the things that we're looking to do at all.
Yeah, I think we all understand that.
Okay.
People, the way it stands, the people that are participating are the ones you're looking at right now, plus possibly Sam. So, and that's even if all of us can do it here.
Yeah.
So I think we're all on board with what you're saying. We've been all exposed to the same information for a week or two or three.
Yeah, good.
I guess I'm seeing a need to get this type of information about the squadron discussed, written down, you know, get going on this. I think at some point, if we continue to have obstacles with finding a facilitator, I think at some point we want to conduct something like that, a modified SWAT, if you will. It may not have the formal structure, but it will be members important to the squadron sitting down discussing what needs to be discussed for the squadron. What I'm saying is at some point in time, we stop screwing around and do the best we can with what we got.
Well, probably what we need to do is set a date. When do we want to do it? And once you have a goal, and that's like a goal, a date. If you have the date set, then everybody kind of gets going. What we've been doing the past couple of weeks is talking about whether we should or not. And well, we will. We got to get a hold of this. We got to have something set and get it going.
Let's take it one more week. I'd like Bob Carroll to discuss it with Sam to see if his schedule is as you predicted. Bob Root just gave me a couple other contacts here. Bob Heck, you have, I guess, a task of chasing down USPS contacts. Let's take one more week, and at next week's meeting, get off the pot here.
Okay.
Also, if my thought was to physically conduct this at PYC, it would take a week or so to schedule that, but I can start on that next Tuesday after our meeting here. Any discussion? Clear as mud.
Sounds good.
Jack,
Yes.
it says we can't start our video because the host has stopped it. I assume you are the host.
Yes, I thought that maybe if I had stopped it, then you restarted it, I sent a request that says ask to start video.
Yeah, we did that, and we said, start my video.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Well, you're just totally messed up today. Sorry.
Oh, well, I've got another camera I
Hey,
could hook up, but I don't
It is a
think I need it.
computer.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay, you can hear us, that's what matters.
Yes, we can.
All right, another item to discuss then, Bob Carroll, you had a comment a week or so ago about, at the time, you were one of the few that read the prologue.
Yeah.
Pointed out a couple things there about potential information about PSAs.
Well, yeah, I had just mentioned it. It's really just 2 lines that was in the book. It's on page 16 of the prologue that mentioned the National Public Relations Committee has a DVD with 6 30-second PSAs. I do not know what the PSAs are referring to. There is a order number. I have not ordered it, but I've got an item number, I should say, for the items. And there's also a 1-hour television show. It's entitled USPS Second Annual Safe Boating Test. And that's available as well. If there's a cost associated, it was not mentioned in prologue, but that's the same information everybody else would have picked up, when you read through the prologue itself. The PSAs may or may not be something that we decide once we go through the SWAT that we're ready for, now, or it's certainly going to be sometime in the future, I would imagine. But there's nothing to stop us from looking into ordering the DVD if you think it's worth it. Bob or Marty, have you seen the PSAs by any chance? Are you familiar
I
with
have
them?
not.
No.
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 I know Marty Lafferty. Go ahead, dear. You
Yeah,
talk to him.
when I talked to Marty at America's Voting Channel, I asked him if there was a PSA specifically about that, and he said no, there wasn't, but they would get working on one when they're doing their, next recording sessions or video sessions. And I have not heard any follow-up on that. Of course, I know he's real tied up right now getting in production for all these presentations the education department's going to be doing for the virtual governing board meeting. And I know that very well because I'm involved in 2 of them. So,
Oh, okay.
So we haven't discussed PSAs, or I know he's not working on his voting channel videos right now since he's been tagged to do this other. So
My biggest concern is these things may be quite dated. I don't know when the prologue was actually developed.
About 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
and so it may not even
Yeah, I
refer
know.
to America's Voting
It
Club.
doesn't. And Pete Tendrick was in charge of the PA committee when it was written. And Pete has been out for, I know, over 1 year, maybe 2.
A lot of the information
Bob
may
Campbell's in charge now.
be old, but the date at the bottom of the pages is 2019. But I say a lot of information may be pretty old in that.
All right, so
It does
sounds
have the America's Voting Club logo in the first pages.
Okay.
So it has been updated. That may be the only update. It puts a logo in there.
Yeah.
Well, give me some direction on it. And I do not know if they're free. Look into it. If there's a cost associated, Jim, get back with you or John on that, and we can decide if we want to purchase them, or at least get the PSA DVD.
Do we want to pursue that? I'm looking at an opportunity for some information. It may help us, it may not, or do we want to blow it off and keep walking there?
My initial reaction is I would not order it now. I think we need to get our whole program a little more solidified, and I am much more excited about the email I just got from Sue an hour ago, which I assume you're going to bring up. I think that'll give us more of a heads up of where we're at as a squadron than any information I've seen since Angela and I joined anyway.
That's part of a different process. I was not going to discuss it here.
Okay.
It was sent out just to the phone tree, so eventually everyone will find out about it.
Okay.
And I'm kind of doing that myself as admin person. All right, next item. Greg, anything to report on updates, contacts with other squadrons, either what they do, how they do, virtual classes, SEOs, anything?
No new news there. I think the, I do have from John Farmer an offer that he has some materials we could use if we have a way to get people to enroll in the classes.
So say it again, Farmer has what?
John Farmer has some stuff that he's done, and there are things that don't have copyrights, as far as I can tell, that we could use for seminars that are not 2 hours long. The challenge is figuring out a way to actually get people to enroll in viewing them and taking the classes.
So it's stuff that would be, it's online for general public, is that right?
I don't think it's online right now, but he told me it would be available to us.
Yeah.
Would it be something you present in a webinar format if you get people to sign up?
Webinar, yeah.
Okay.
He's written these things himself. They're his productions or
Right.
his stuff, and he will, you contact him and he will see what he can do to present it.
Can you set up general classes on the class sign-ups on the national site?
Not
No.
for his materials.
No, so only if you do a standard.
Okay, one of the things I'm working on in my slot at National is being part of ANEO Bob Rayburn's presentation about changing squadron culture. And we are trying to develop a interactive workshop with DEOs and SEOs or any educators that want to be included. This is part of what Marty is producing for us. And we will be presenting it on Thursday afternoon of the governing board, which is September, whatever that Thursday is, 10 maybe, I'm not sure, and of the date. But we are on the schedule for that Thursday afternoon, and it's going to try and help SEOs, DEOs, like I say, all the educators gather and discuss how they would go about presenting. Like we are using some of the seminars from boat handling as examples, and help them do some exchanges of ideas and planning, and then try and come up with the best of the, what was discussed, trying to get members. Because the problem with things that are done at National is squadrons look at that and go, that doesn't fit us, that doesn't fit us. And we'd really ideally like to put together, when National looks at groups of squadrons and what we can do to help them, you need to kind of group squadrons that are in the couple hundred member group together, because what they could plan and use is not going to work for a squadron our size, or one in, God help them, what am I trying to say? Oak Ridge, where they have like 6 members that come and that's it, So that's what our goal is at the national level, but we're trying to do these virtual workshops. And Greg and Bob, you guys would be able to sign up for these, or any of the members of the Power Squadrons. You don't even have to be in education if you don't, but if you just have an interest in it, or, might want to contribute something, that would be great. So we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to mention it to you, Bob and Greg, anyway, and let you know that that is coming in the near future.
I'll drink to that.
That's going to be recorded and available.
Yes, and it will be recorded. It will be a recorded session, so you'd be able to view it at a later time if you can't actually attend and participate in the session.
All right.
That's where Marty's coming in. He's doing the production and all the recording of these different meetings that were happening.
And also just to let you know, the PR committee, we're also putting together a presentation. I don't know when we're scheduled or what it's going to include, but we're still meeting to do things and put some stuff out on PR.
You mean things are actually happening and stirring at that?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
National is not sitting. National is doing things. You don't see it. And a lot of the squadrons don't see it and they don't realize it. But National is there for the squadrons. That's why they're there.
And they would have no purpose if it wasn't for the squadrons.
Yeah.
And the districts.
Boy, you're making us feel special now. Be careful.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, think about it, really.
Next item I had pertained to Bob Roop's comment last week about developing a set of metrics. Does anyone, I got Bob Heck's email and John DePrima fed me a little bit of information from Commander's Manual. Anyone else look at anything at the national level to look at how to measure progress at a squadron, how to define progress?
It depends on what your goals are. It depends on what your progress you're trying to measure. And we have to set that before we can figure out how we're going to use a metric.
I guess I'm looking for some guidelines on within USPS, the type of activities that we're involved with. Looking for something that's already published from National or other squadrons have done, rather than us to develop a goal of, say, we want 35% of members to receive merit marks, to be active in doing something. Is 35 a valid number? Should we do 50%? I'm looking for guidance like that. Comments?
Well, I don't know. I kind of think we have to set our goals based on what we have available, who we have available, and the things that we have available. A lot of what I've read about and everything in National, they talk about larger groups. They don't talk about the small groups like we are right now. And so I kind of think we need to know what we can do, or we have to come up with what we want to do, how we want to do it, and then we can say, how can we measure it? Anytime you set a goal, that's part of the goal, is it has to be something that is measurable. It's no good if you can't measure. You can't just put out a nebulous thing. It's got to be pertinent, and it's got to be measurable.
All right, let me back up then concerning this, the SWOT analysis, presuming we can bring that together to have a formal analysis. What time period?
The sooner the better.
How long?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You're getting stressed out, Jim. You're going to have to repeat that.
It's actually hysterical, Jim.
How
Maybe his connection will come back up better in a moment. But right now,
Lord,
I don't know if he can hear us.
Jim, that was worth the price of admission right there, sir.
Even saying like
On
this,
the PR log, it talks about a SWOT analysis for 4 hours.
Jim, you still there?
All right, fire when ready, Gridley.
Your last paragraph of talk was stretched out in audio. We couldn't
I'm
understand.
looking to keep something moving while we're still developing the SWOT analysis.
Jim, I'm
Yeah,
not
kind of-
sure that
kind of
that's a
blew the-
good
Blew the
idea.
tubes, didn't we?
I
For
mean,
those of you who know about tubes, never mind. What?
Jim, I think,
Which idea is not good?
I don't think we need to be concerning ourselves with getting something done while we're trying to develop who we are and what our plan is. I think the SWOT, you can't run before you walk, and you can't walk until you're crawling. So, or hopefully not. I know some children do, but it doesn't work out well. We have got to start at the beginning. And I think the beginning has to be a SWOT analysis. We have to determine who we are, get some ideas of where we want to go before we can say, well, let's go ahead and start this. Because then how is that going to fit into a SWOT analysis? Where's that going to be, and how are we going to set metrics if that's on a whole different page?
I think you're right.
Couldn't hear you, Greg.
I said, I think you're right.
No. Okay, thank you.
All right, so we want to keep that number one priority then for now, as far as the squadron's concerned.
Yeah, the part we couldn't understand from you earlier, Jim, was when you were talking about the length and the possible time to do the SWOT analysis. That was all messed up. Your audio just went crazy. So you may need to go back and put your thoughts back to us on that, on length of time.
I think some of that will come out once we identify a facilitator to help us out.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd made a few sentences about it, and we just couldn't understand it because of your audio messed up.
Okay. All right. So we still need to emphasize a facilitator. We'll start looking at, or I'll start looking at PYC, at least make contact with the so-called social director who checks the schedule for us here.
Okay.
Bob Roop, are you still a member of PYC?
I am.
Okay. Have they held any activities? Have they tried to get together at all in the last 6 months?
They do some activities. Jack, what have you seen going on? I haven't been in the club in a couple of weeks.
It's just
I see people there for races not wearing masks.
yeah. Masks are very optional there. There's 2 or 3 of us walk around with them. But as far as the facilities go, I think they would be okay with it. But you know, they still have their board meetings because they spread out. That's only about 8 or 10 people. So.
Okay.
We don't have to have the whole facility if we, depending on how many people, you know, we're going to put up for the SWAT. We could do it in their little boardroom there.
Yeah. Well, we still got to schedule use of the building there.
You're going to have trouble doing social distancing in that boardroom. We need the bigger facility if we're going to spread out.
Yeah.
And if we don't spread out, I'm not participating. So
there are other things on the calendar that look to be group gatherings. I don't know what size they are, but.
Okay. Well, I have a contact there that's social person who's supposed to coordinate that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, she would have to coordinate it, or he would have to, whoever it is now. I don't know if it's still D or who.
Does our education department have flip charts and easel and stuff like that?
I have a flip chart.
I've got an easel.
Get that stuff.
So we have enough supplies, or Greg, can you be
I
responsible?
mean, that's very easy to solve.
One more time, please.
I said that's easy to solve. We'll get some, some markers and some charts and some tape, and we can fix that up.
Yeah.
All right. Would you coordinate that end of it, please?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, anything else to talk about before next week?
Bob Roop sent out a Harvard management text or email that had some really good information on it. Did anybody look at that?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you, Bob, for that. I thought it was very interesting and very, very penetrating in terms of thought provoking.
Yeah, I used to do all the performance metrics for nuclear
Okay.
in a previous life.
Okay. I could tell that you obviously knew a lot more than where we're coming from, but it was very informative and I appreciated reading it.
So we have a hidden talent amongst us.
Yes, we do.
The other part of my career was doing strategic planning and business planning. So
Oh, boy, more.
I think we just found our leader for our SWOT analysis.
He can definitely teach us a few things.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, people?
I think we need to for sure set down a time frame when we're going to do all this before we leave, if we can. I mean, yeah, we got to have a facilitator. Let's get a facilitator so we can tell them when we're going to do it.
Well, do we want to look at a weekend evening so that Sam Hornsby might attend?
I think Sam's presence would be very helpful.
Sure. Go for it. Maybe an early afternoon when he would be home to get started. Or late afternoon, put it that way. Still daylight.
Do we want to talk to him first, get a time frame?
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
All right, so we're looking at nailing the thing down next week then. Is that right? Or we want to
Yes.
communicate in the interim?
I think
I
Derek,
don't know if you can nail it down until we get somebody that's going to do this, unless we go back to Bob Roop because he knows how to do it.
well, I've not led a SWAT, but I've done a lot of work on business planning and performance metrics. So
Yeah, and that's the bottom line.
All right, let's do some homework between now and next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, bring your calendar with you. We'll pick a date.
sounds good.
And just double check what's available at PYC so we don't run into a problem there. So.
Yep, I'll do that. Anything else, people?
Thank you very much, everybody.
All right.
Yep.
talk to you later.
Thank
See you next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.